again. I was making it and I got caught up with something. So we are beginning it again. Yeah. So stay with me and we see how we are going to do it. We want to cut a properly fitted dress. How do you do it? So hang in there and we see what we do. Yes, so good morning. It's morning here in the UAE. Yeah. So I don't know what time it is there where you are, but here it's morning. So we are going to draft our pattern and we shall start. I'm making this line. I always put this line here as my starting point. Okay. So I'm going to measure 10 inches. 10 inches. That is my shoulder to bust. 13 shoulder to under bust. 16 shoulder to waist. 24 or 25 between that shoulder to hip. I'll do the same here. I'll take 10 inches shoulder to bust, 13 shoulder to under bust, 16 shoulder to waist, 25 shoulder to hip. So I'll come in like this, make these lines here. And yeah, that is it. So we have our lines. I'll mark them. This is shoulder line, this is bust line, under bust, waistline, hip line. Okay, we are now going to put in our neckline. I'll put my neck, this one, I'll put my neck 3 inches by 3. So I'll bring it in and put it in here. So I'll also come and make my shoulder measurement. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll come also and mark that 7.5 here and come up by 2 inches to make a chest line. So this will be my chest line. I always repeat this process in case someone is new here and is starting from the start. Yeah, so don't get tired. So I'll come here on my shoulder line and come down by 1 inch to make a shoulder slope. Then I'll come and connect this line to here. So I'll measure half of this. I'll divide this line by 2 and mark the center point and come in by 0.5. This is where I'm going to put my arm hole. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. I'm going to get my, mark it on the under bust, on the waistline, and mark it on the hip line. Then I'll make a line straight to the hip. After that, I'm going to come down on my bust by 1 inch and come here on my waistline and make a dot of 1 inch. Let me make a dot of 1 inch. So it's 1 inch, 0.5 on each side. Then I'll come down here and go down by 6 inches or 5 inches, whatever you want. So I'll come down by 6 inches. So you can use 5 or 6, either way it works. So I'm going to connect my dot. You can make this dart 1.5 inches, 2 inches, according to what you want, okay? Or even according to how big your bust is. If you have a bust that is a little bit bigger, you can use 1.5 or 2 inches. It's okay. Yeah. So I'm going to come here on my bust line and put my bust measurement divided by 4. Yeah. In the beginning, I'll not add sewing allowance. So it's 9.5 inches. Okay. Also on the chest line, I'm going to use the same measurement I used on the bust, which is 9.5 inches. I'm going to come on my under bust and take my measurement, which is 9 plus this measurement is what? 0.5. Yeah. So I'm going to come on my waist. My waist is 8.5. So 8.5, I'm going to add this 1 inch. It is going to become 9.5. So I'll come on my hip line and put my hip measurement, which is hip divided by 4, which is mine is 11.25. So I'm going to connect all these points together. So I'll use this curve here and come like this. So I take it straight to down. Yeah, I will not measure there. So you can make yours on the length. This is not my full length, the one I'm going to use. I'm going to add in some inches, but the pattern paper is stopping here. So if you want your what is this? If you want your dress to be down when it's having a pencil shape, you have to come in here by 1 or 1.5 inches on this line. Okay, so you can come in by 1 or 1.5 inches. Or if you're going to put a slit on it, you can come down on the knee line by 2 or 3 inches. I hope you have understood. So I'm going to put in my armhole. I'm going to connect this point to this point to this point. So I'll place my armhole curve here, and I'll connect like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come on my bust here and come down by 1 inch. You can come down by 1.5 inch, but I'll come down by 1 inch. Yeah. Or even 2 inches. Yeah, whatever you want. So I've come down here by 1 inch. I'm going to split this pattern into 2. So before I split it, let me cut this out. This does not have a sewing allowance. Yeah. So when I'm cutting on my fabric, I'll make sure I add a sewing allowance. When you reach here where you have your dart here, you are going to add in some extra inches. You might not mark. You can add it with some extra here, like 1 inch or 1.5. Yeah, but I've used my eyes. I've estimated. I think this will be enough. Okay. So we are going to manipulate the darts. So I'm going to cut this. So we shall look at this later. Yeah. So I'm going to come and cut here. And also come down here. I'm going to bring this up here like this. I hope you can see me. I'm going to cover this dot. Okay, so when I cover this dot, there creates more space here. So if I made 1.5 inches or 2 inches, this gap would have been bigger. So the inches you make, widen this gap. Okay, yeah. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I will cover this like this, and after covering here, I'm going to cut in this. Yeah. So I'm going to cut this out. So you see our dirty has widened. So I'm going to get another piece of paper. Is this enough? I don't know. Yeah, it will be enough, I think. Press it like this. So now this is our new pattern. We are modifying it a bit. So on this pattern, yes, these markers can make your nails dirty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this dot and manipulate it. I can manipulate it up to here or any side. Okay, I can manipulate it up to here, or I can manipulate it up to here. It depends. So I'm going to take it. I'll take it from here to up. Yes, so I'm going to do like this and come from here and also go up like this. So I will cut again through. So I'm going to come and cover it. If you're cutting, don't split. So I'm going to come and cover here like this. Make sure you align it properly. Since I've splitted mine, but you don't split yours, you might fail to align it properly. So I must cover this line like this. Okay. So this is my pattern. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring this and join it here. Remember, we splitted it. So, but we are going to put something down. I'm going to get an extra paper and put it down and align it properly, okay? So we are going to also remove this dirt. We are going to manipulate it, okay? So we are going to manipulate this dirt also. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to I will take this dirt to this, to here, in the corner. So if your skirt is if your skirt, you're going to use a longer skirt, you can also take it maybe to this point and you leave the rest. Or you can take it to the full length of your skirt. Okay? I hope you understood me. So I'm going to use this, come here, and also come here like this. So this dirt is no longer there. This one. Now what I'm also going to do here, is the same. I'm just going to bring this and cover. So after doing this, I'm going to do what I was telling you. I'm going to bring this. You make sure you align it properly. So I'm bringing this and this. Okay. So make sure these points meet. Where the waist was, it is where it is supposed to be. So when we are manipulating here, created a space, so we have to cover up for this space. That's why I put this down. Okay, if it doesn't cover up this, the dress is going to be shorter on one side and it will not balance, because here we put a dart, and I know you get what I'm saying. I'm not good at explaining so well, but I hope you get me. So this is it. This is our new pattern. Now we are going to take our measurements again. This pattern does not have sewing allowance. Okay, so we are going to take our measurements again. So we are going to come on our bust point. I told you my bust was 9 inches. So this is it. But some point something is missing here. So I was supposed to cut a little bit more here. Yeah, I told you cut a little bit more here, you leave some. So on my chest line, it is even more than, so I'll come on my chest line and I'll move this excess on my chest line. So I'll come on my waist. Yeah, my waist is 8.5. So the 8.5 is here. So you can see it is exactly, the 8.5 is exactly where this pass is. So this extra comes in from the paper I put down. I hope you can understand me. This extra came with the paper, but when you measure here, the 8.5 inches for the waist, they are exactly 8.5. So for the hip, it's the same. So we are just going to put in a little bit of sewing allowance, and our dress will be done. Yeah, so this is the front pattern of our dress. So when you're putting here, you can put a sewing allowance of 1 inch or 0.5, but it's better you put 1 inch. Your 1 inch sewing allowance around this. When you're cutting it, you put 1 inch excess. Okay, so this is the front pattern. So we are going to do the back. You get some pattern paper here. Okay. So for the back, I'll use this. So for the back, I'm going to come here and start as I did in the front. Repeat the same process. It's exactly the same process. Waist 25 hip. So this is bust line and waist and hip. So for the neckline of the back, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches, and here I'll come in by 3 inches to make a neckline. So you can decide to put the sewing allowance of the back from here, or you can decide to put it on the fabric when you're cutting. But for ease, let's put it before we cut. Let's put it on the pattern. Okay. So this is 2 inches. This ruler is 2 inches. So I'll take off the 2 inches. It will cater for the these 2 inches will cater for the back allowance, zip allowance, everything. So I'll just come down and take my measurements. Again, I said 1.5. So from here, I'm going to take 7.5 inches. It's the same process, nothing much. Yeah. Come again here, 7.5 inches. Come up by 2 inches, make a chest line. Come down, make a shoulder slope. Connect here. So I'll put in my nipple to nipple, which is 3.5. 3.5, it's 7 inches divided by 2. Yeah. So I'll make a straight line. I'll start this line from the chest line down. So I come on my waist and take a dart of 1 inch and connect this dart to up here, and here I connect the dart to, can connect it to 2 inches above the hip line. So after that, I'm going to measure my chest measurement. I use my bust divided by 4, which is 9.5. Here I use my the same my bust divided by 4, which is 9.5 again. This I'll not mark it. I'll take here, my waist is 8.5 plus this 1 inch for the dart. I replace it. My hip measurement is 11.25. So I'm not putting the allowance in. And here you can take it straight. Okay. So in the back, you can leave it like this, or you can also decide to manipulate the back. That is according to you. So if you want to leave it like this, it's okay. But if you want to manipulate the back like you did to the front, you're going to again cut. I've not put the shoulder measurement, the armhole. So in the back we don't take the dirt, bust dirt. So we shall just come here and take it from here to here. So we don't need bust dirt here. So just leave it as it is. Okay. So for the hip too, you can decide to take it straight to down, or you can decide to change the direction. Depends on what you want. You're being so here you can see it's not too much different because it's just 1 inch and we did not put a bust dart, so it's not on this pattern. It doesn't make too much of a difference. So we are doing the same thing like we did for the front. We are getting an extra paper and putting it down. So we are aligning this. Make sure these lines are aligning very well. Yes. So we are going to take our waist measurement just to confirm if our waist is still the same. Yeah, you can see it's 8.5. Okay, come here, it's 9. We shall add 1 inch sewing allowance. Yes, some to cover for that small space which was snatched from here. So we shall put 1 inch sewing allowance, and we sew 0.5. The 0.5 will be there inside. Yeah. So now we are going to come here, and come up by 0.5 on this line. We are coming up by 0.5 and 0.5 down. After doing that, we are connecting this to here and this to here. So this helps to remove zipper bulge. This is what I'm doing. It helps remove the zipper bulge in your dress. As you're cutting, make sure you align this line to this, okay, so they are properly in the proper line. So this is my pattern. Now what we are going to do, we are going to come here and add 1 inch sewing allowance, or add 1 inch sewing allowance in the center back, and come here, add 0.5 inches, and come here on the hip line and add 1.5 inches. 1 inch, 0.5, 1.5. I hope I'm understood. So if you don't know how to sew on a small sewing allowance, add 1 inch here. If you don't know how to use a small sewing allowance, add 1 inch here. If you know how, use 0.5. So this will be my zipper allowance. And then here you come down from the hip line, like you come down on the hip line like 5 inches, then you mark 1 inch, and the rest down is 1 inch. So this is our pattern for the back. You cut it as it is. You don't add. You cut it as it is. You don't add sewing allowance this side. You add 1 inch this side. or 0.5. If you can sew on a smaller sewing allowance, you can add 0.5. This side you don't add in the center back. So this is our back pattern, and this is our front pattern. We have manipulated and removed the dots. So I'm going to cut it on the fabric, and we shall see what will come out. So I'm cutting the front on fold. And I'm not adding here. This will be the length of my dress. I'll add with another fabric the length. I'll use another fabric for the length. I don't want it to be one color. So I use this small ruler to add some sewing allowance. So you measure your allowance, Banangi. Measure your sewing allowance. Me, I just use my eyes. I can know that this is enough. But if you don't have that experience, please and please do measure or take measurements. Our front is done, it's on fold. So I'm going to cut the back. So we are not adding sewing allowance this side. This is the center back, this side. So we are adding sewing allowance this side, okay? The center back, we are not adding allowance. So you can come and measure 1 inch, or I'll not measure 1 inch, I'll use 0.5. So I'll come, no, let me use 1 inch. This material is delicate. Luxury. Luxury material might disappoint me. Yeah, I want it so fitting, but I have to consider the material I'm using, also the type of fabric. So I'll add the 1 inch because of that reason. Your race has been won, and I don't come myself, but through Christ to be saved. My is only Jesus. Is my King. So I'm done with cutting the back. and these are 2 pieces, as you can see. So I'm just remaining with what? With the sleeves and the rest of the dress and sewing. So I have my front and my back. Should I cut the sleeves? Would this be enough? I'll use this to cut my sleeve. Will it work? Yeah, it will work. I'll use this to cut my sleeve. I'm going to use this as the starting line. In case you don't know how to make a sleeve, I have a tutorial on my channel how to make a sleeve. So you check it out. But in case you want to learn here, you can follow up. I've marked this is 4.5. It's 4.5. You can use 4 as well. This is my bicep line, and this is how long I want my sleeve to be, 9 inches. Okay, I'm going to make a short sleeve. So my bicep measurement is 15 inches. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 1.5 inch, which is 9 inches. So my short sleeve measurement, where I want my short sleeve to end, is how many inches? Let me check. It's 13 inches. So 13 inches divided by 2 is 6.5. 6.5 plus 1.5, which makes it 8 inches. So it's going to be like this. So I've finished this down part. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in from here. I'm going to come in from here and make 4 inches. Yeah, those are the 4 inches. And then I'll come on this 4-inch line and divide the line by half. This line was supposed to be 4.5. Yeah, so I'll divide it by half, which is this. So I'm going to bring my cuff sleeve to meet this point here, and then come down and meet this point like this. If you have this can make work easier for you. So you can come down here like this, and after you come here like this. Okay, so which is better, the first one or this? But it all works the same. Yeah, so this is my sleeve. This is the sleeve I'm going to use. So this is one piece. When you're cutting your sleeve, you have to cut it on fold. Okay, this is on fold like this. You can see it's on fold. So if you're cutting one sleeve, you have to cut it on fold and do like this and cut. Okay, this is how we are going to cut. We are going to cut like this, but I'm not using this. So this will be our sleeve. So I'm going to cut. Let me use this. Let me use this and cut everything also later. So I'm just going to put it on like this here. So I'm done with my sleeves. I don't know what to do with these markers. So my sleeves are done. Yeah. So that's all for today. I'll sew the dress and you'll see it on this same channel. Yeah, thank you for watching. I love you and God loves you, by the way. And God loves you. So I have to clean up and go to bed. We meet later. I want to go and sleep.